Welcome back to Best of the Bets. I'm Christina Nicolaides and we're looking at Sunday's Premier League action. We also have a Monday night game and we're looking at some of the European games as well. Our regular guests, they're back, they're here. It's Sam Dymond with his newly formed beard, and Sam is our football expert and editor of bestofthebets.com. How you doing, Sam?
I'm okay. Not going to shave until Fulham win a game. So.
Okay, you might be waiting a while. And Gareth Walker, who is our... Now, have you been paying our producer? Sensei, I have now.
I'll go with that. I'm very well. I'm much better than Sam's okay. I can give you a yes, I'm fantastic. Thank you, Christina.
Well done, Gareth. Thank you. Right, the first game that we're looking at, Manchester City are going to White Hart Lane, Tottenham versus Manchester City.
Tottenham are 3.2, the draw's 2.3 and the draw is 3.4.
Tottenham now haven't played a game since the second leg at Basel in the Europa League.
Yeah, so they're rested.
So no game in 10 days, whereas City have played 3 in the last 7. I think what City can do here is, I think David Silva could come back into the team, so it does allow for some rotation, and they have got a very strong squad.
Yeah.
And I think Tottenham, if they're still without Gareth Bale and Aaron Lennon, which my sources tell me that they will be, it's just not a team I really want to be with, because you take that width and pace out of the side, and then there's really sort of quite little to get excited about. City as well seem to have the sign over Tottenham for me. I think they've won the last 3 games, well actually won the last 4 against them.
Yeah.
The last 3 in sort of very high profile circumstances, not least at the start of last season when they went to White Hart Lane, wiped the floor with them 5-1, and that was really sort of sent out a marker for the rest of the season. And Tottenham was just really struggling to get past sides. I think drawn the last 3 games all by a 2-2 scoreline. They've won just 1 of the last 7 in all competitions. And there's really nothing to suggest that I should be getting with Tottenham here.
Yeah, Gareth.
Well, I think there are things would suggest to get with Tottenham. Noticeably, when you look at sort of match data, Tottenham always look very, very strong on that. But you really have to take that with a bit of a pinch of salt. The shot stats skewed by Jermaine Defoe, firing them in from 30, 40 yards to bump the targets. One noticeable thing you've got to do. And I'm finding it really difficult to assess them with Bale out, because he is clearly the most influential player, but to what extent does one man affect a team's chances of winning the game, and so the betting. So it is tough. But I think the way that I'm going to go with it is I am going to side with the home side, because I think at the prices it's big enough. There's enough of a question mark about it. It's odd to say there's a question mark against a team on such a fine run of form, but they were really laboured against Wigan in the week. Yeah. They did have that game in the week which Tottenham didn't have. So for once, Tottenham haven't been penalised by the extra fixture list. So I mean, rather than taking Tottenham 3.2, you can take them on the Asian handicap. So that's draw no bet. Spurs are 2.25 to win there. Adebayor providing many laughs for millions with his penalty shootout technique, but he did notch first against Everton, and for this game he's 7.3. So yeah, I'll side with Tottenham on the level ball plus 0.
Yeah, as I say, there's not enough really to make me side with Tottenham. Quite keen on the draw here. The draw that keeps a comfortable gap between Man City and the teams behind them. Yeah. They've only won 4 of their 11 games against the other teams in the top 6. I think they'll be happy with a point here, so I'm going to go with the draw.
The draw is priced at 3.4. Any correct score?
1-1.
1-1, 6.8. Never a bad bet for these big games.
Okay. You've heard what the boys have had to say. It's time to hear from Mike Holden.
I think for Tottenham, this is almost a free hit in that people won't really be expecting them to beat City, but they can put down a real marker and a real statement in their push for a top 4 place by winning this game. And I think all the performance data over the season as a whole, and even in recent weeks, suggests that Spurs can win the match. They do tend to have the better shot data than City, not necessarily dominate games as much in terms of possession, but in a game where you've got to question how hungry City are going to be for the points, I think there's real chances there for Spurs.
Right, so our next game, Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Liverpool are 2.2. Chelsea 3.3 and the draw 3.5.
Liverpool haven't got a really that good a record against teams in the top half of the season. We've commented that on many occasions. Yeah. Just 1 win in their 11 games against the top 6. But there has been goals in a lot of these games, and I'm thinking of 2 2-all draws with Man City, a 2-all draw with Arsenal, and also with Everton. They've conceded 2 in exactly 9 of these 10 games. Chelsea, last 5 games in all competitions, have gone over 2.5 goals. Yeah. Over 3.5 in 12 Premier League games this season.
And
14 of Liverpool's games have gone the same way. So it is a bet I like. I wouldn't really want to pick a winner here, even though Liverpool got quite a good record against Chelsea in recent seasons. So I'm going to go goals. 4+ goals for me on the goal crazy.
That's a good option, yeah. That's priced at 2.9 for this one, so any score, as long as there's 4 goals or more scored in the match, is an option. I'm going to side with Liverpool. I mean, they're a real head-scratcher because they constantly seem to be bombarding teams without getting the results. And there's got to come a point where you think, well, there's got to be some other factor. But that game against Reading was a complete freak show that it stayed 0-0. I just think that, I think that Chelsea, at some stage, it's got to have to catch up on them. The fact that they've got these extra games. However,
I think it has caught up with them. They've been very poor away recently. They won at Fulham in the week, but they were nothing special in that game. Before that, they'd lost, I think, 3 away in a row in the Premier League. They'd lost 2 away in a row in the Europa League, and then in neutral ground at Wembley. I think they're there to be taken on when they go away. Yeah,
and be thinking ahead to the Europa game in midweek as well. To what extent, not quite sure, but I think Liverpool at odds against here are my bet. 2.2. I do like that. I'll go with Liverpool.
Good bet.
Okay, we're going to move on to the Monday night game, Man United versus Aston Villa.
1.25 for Manchester United, draw 6.5 from Aston Villa. How they'd love something here, 11.7.
I am going to back Aston Villa here just because they're a big price, and they should be a big price because the quality between the sides is enormous. But just every now and again, United throw in these games where they're beaten at Old Trafford. I'm thinking over games in the last 10 years. You've seen Blackburn, West Ham, Fulham, Middlesbrough Derby. All teams that have gone to Old Trafford and just stunned the home support.
Aston Villa to beat
Man
United
Aston Villa are one of those
home.
teams. They're the last team who've kept a clean sheet at Old Trafford. Pretty much counts for nothing now, especially considering Villa's defence.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm going to go for it is because Man United have not been very good the last few weeks. They're sort of cruising through these games. There's no competitiveness left in their season. And this Villa side, they're a young team. And going to Old Trafford could either make them or it can break them.
Yeah.
But seen it before, that if they go there and they are fearless, no one expects them to get a result here. It could just work for them on the night, and they could surprise a lot of people.
Gareth?
Yeah, I certainly couldn't really steam into United at 1.25. Yes, you'd expect United to win. Yeah. But it's been a while since it seems strange to be criticising a team that have basically are going to win the league and they've won it so comfortably. But they're not playing great stuff, and they haven't been that convincing recently. The more standard way of playing Aston Villa, getting Aston Villa on side, would be to back them on the Asian handicap. You can get a 1.5 goal head start. So if Villa lose by 1 goal or draw or United win, then your bet's a winner. That's priced at 2.15, so that's odds against. Which is a way of siding with Villa without going for the big, massive 11.7.
Right, we'll see what happens Monday night. We're moving on to Serie A. Juventus versus AC Milan, so first versus third. I'm really looking forward to this game.
Juventus 1.7, Milan 5, and the draw 3.7.
I just think this fact that Flamini is now suspended for this game opens up some interesting opportunities. I've been quite critical of the quality of Juventus' forwards, especially in the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the option of maybe someone from behind the forwards coming through to score the first goal here. I quite like Arturo Vidal. He got a brace against Lazio on Monday night in a 2-0 win. But I'm more interested in Paul Pogba, who joined from Manchester United.
Yeah, he did.
He's been very impressive at times this season. And he's 12, I think, to score the first goal. Is that right?
He is 12.
He is 12. Yeah. So... And it's hard to really call a bet here on the 90-minute betting, I think, because Juventus will be quite satisfied with a point, much as Napoli were last season, just keep the other teams at arm's length. So that's the way I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, a lot of points to a draw. Just when you've got two teams that have settled for a point before kick-off, and I know Juventus are odds on, but they probably would just think, well, a draw, it's another point towards the title, which they surely are going to get. Yeah. So a draw is the bet that I like. The best bet, I think, for this game is to go unders. I can't, whatever I do, I can't tweak the figures to get any sort of goal expectancy out of this game. Yeah. So under 2.5 goals, priced at 1.95, looks fantastic to me.
Last 4 games have gone that way between the two.
Just there will not be massive amounts happening. I know you're looking forward to the game, Christine. I don't want to put you off watching it, but don't be expecting too many goals, I would say.
Right, we're going to move from Italy to Spain, and it's Sevilla versus Atletico Madrid, so 10th versus 3rd. What can we expect?
Sevilla 2.4 to win this one, Atletico Madrid 3, and the draw 3.3.
Sevilla have won their last 7 games at home, so they're going to certainly have their backers this week. But I'm sure you remember when we covered the reverse fixture early in the season, we made the point that Sevilla coming off thumping Betis in the Seville derby could actually have a detrimental effect on their performance because of the energy gone into it. And I'm going to say something similar here, because the Seville derby last week was probably one of the most fascinating games I've seen this season.
Yeah.
Sevilla raced into a 3-0 lead at the old enemy within half an hour. But then just pressed the self-destruct button. It was an extraordinary match. Yeah. And I just think now Atletico Madrid back into winning ways with a thumping Granada last week, 5-0. Falcao back in scoring, Diego Costa harassing people, and Koke was fantastic in setting up, I think, 3 goals last week. They're looking a good side. The Madrid derby is to come next week. I'm sure we'll cover that. Yeah. And I don't think they've given up on catching their rivals in second place. So I'm going to go for the away win here. I'm going to go with Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I found it tough to find an angle on this game, actually. It's one that required a lot of thought. But in the end, before I heard what Sam had to say about the game, I was siding with Seville marginally, actually. So I just think that extra factor that just tilted me over was perhaps Atletico half an eye on next week and that massive game against Real. So Seville at 2.4. That's the bet I'll be having for interest on this game.
Okay, we're going to move on to the Bundesliga, and we've got Nuremberg versus Greuther Furth. Have I said that right?
Greuther Furth.
Greuther Furth.
Okay.
Fantastic that we get a chance to cover them.
Well, they're bottom, aren't they? They're 18th. They've only got 15 points.
We won't be covering them next season. I think
no, we won't be. We haven't touched with the Bundesliga for a while, so I thought it was nice that we did look at them. And Greuther Furth won't be around for long. It's been a bit of a sorry season for them, but I don't really know what was expected, sort of given the resources available.
I think this was what was expected.
Well, pretty much bottom of the table, 9 points behind Hoffenheim above them, 12 points behind the supposed safety of the playoff place.
So maybe playing for pride?
Well, I think that is an angle, especially remember this is the Franken derby, that two teams are very close geographically. It was 0-0 earlier in the season, and to be honest, I've had this impression of Nuremberg over the past 2 years that they're a very well-drilled, hard-to-break-down side, almost like at the Stoke of the Bundesliga. But the last few games they've had have really kind of just sort of blown that out of the water.
Yeah.
They lost to Bayern Munich 4-0 last week, but that's just another game that's gone over 2.5 goals. The last 5 have, and it is a surprise to me. But I think just with this being sort of local bragging rights, I'm going to go with it being another tight, cagey game, just as it was the first time they met in the season. Greuther Furth hammered by Dortmund last week. I think they'll want some pride from this season, and I think this is where they get it, a good 0-0 draw at the local rivals.
Priced at 8.8. You said they were hammered by Dortmund. I think the second half they can take a lot of heart from. Drew one each. Drew one each in the second half, and they bossed it. If you look at the stats for the second half, shame about the first half that they lost 5-0. Of course, I'm going to side with them. I don't think when I've seen them, they don't look as bad as the bare table suggests. Yeah. So at 5.2, I just think the fact that it's a derby match, it's always a slightly different environment. Yeah. Perhaps means more to the first players than it does to the Nuremberg players. I'm not sure about that, but just get that impression that this is their massive game of the season. They'd love to have as their memory of their season in the Bundesliga this victory here. So 5.2. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. You've heard what the boys have had to say about Sunday's games, the Monday night game and the European action, but it is time to hear from you at George Wan Boateng, who says Manchester City and Manchester United to win on Sunday.
Is that the real George Boateng?
Yes, it is.
It is fantastic. The Manchester double, City and United both to win, that pays 2.9. Good luck to George. Right,
best bet for Sunday or Monday?
I'm going to go for Liverpool at 2.2. I feel that they are due to unleash a load of goals on somebody, and Chelsea are due to slip up. So I think 2.2, I like that a lot.
Sam?
I think that is a very good bet. Possibly not one that's quite as good, but I'm just going to take a chance now on Aston Villa to win at Manchester United. Big price. Why not?
11.7 for Aston Villa. And the very best of luck.
And I'm going to go for Tottenham to beat Manchester City.
Tottenham at 3.2.
OK, for you to place your bets on any of the games that we have discussed and for much more and all your latest betting odds, then head to our website, which is heavenbet.com. Now, for our Danish viewers, you can watch the show on footy.dk and you can place your bets on mermaidbet.dk. And we'll see you same time, same place next week. See you then. Bye-bye.